So this is a Zoom meeting screen that you would be seeing on your desktop computer in your classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up to full screen. And here are just a few pointers on the features of Zoom that you are going to want to remember when you are teaching a lesson to your students. The first would be your participants tab, which is down at the bottom. So you'll see that I have a student waiting to be admitted. So this is where, when you have students who are clicking on that Zoom link, you're going to want to watch for names of students who are at home here. And you can decide whether you want to admit them one by one, groups of them, that's up to you, but I'm going to go ahead and admit my student. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and close out the participants screen. So you'll see here that Robin is my student who is at home. So as students join, you know that participants begin popping up in the windows. You may want to wait and take attendance, so to say, until all of your students join and you begin your lesson. Once you are ready, you are then going to share your screen. And this is an important part of Zoom, as we all learned in the spring, because this is how you're going to be able to access either the whiteboard feature of Zoom, or it might be perhaps an Active Inspire lesson that you have saved, or potentially going on to a website like Newsela, whatever that may be. So I'm going to go ahead and click share. And at this point, you will see that your students will pop up over on the right-hand side. If you have 10 to 12 students, if you click and drag this black box at the top and move it, students go across the bottom. That's just preference. I tend to like it over on the side, because one of the things that you are going to have to do is watch for the raising of the hand feature. So students at home, if they have a question on your lesson, are able to do that. So what I'm going to do right now is just open. Sometimes that can be tricky when you have that bar at the top, but I'm going to open a new Google tab. Sometimes your Zoom meeting might get kicked. It's still open, but it goes to the bottom of your screen, like that just happened to me. So if that happens, you can just access it again here. So right now I am going to just go to Newsela and access an article that I might want to be using for a lesson. Okay, and there we go. And we might access something like music as therapy. And so now here you have your article. You still have your Zoom screen up. And Robin, if you raise your hand so we can see that raising of the hand feature. Okay, so it tells us here that Robin Shine has raised hand. So you know to call on her. Another way of doing it is by having the participant screen over on the side. Okay, so if Robin has a question, she can raise her hand and I might say, okay, Robin, what's your question? You would have to unmute your microphone, Robin.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. I was wondering if I had to do the work today.
Of course you have to do the work today, Robin. So you can see that you can interact with your students that way. And then once you have answered the question, you have the ability to lower the hand, or the student also has the ability. It is going to take a little bit of practice with toggling between your lesson and the Zoom screen, but it's definitely doable.